大家好, hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about Chinese music and what makes it so special. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. First, let's look at the words 音乐. When put together, these two words form what is called a disyllabic unit. The word 音乐 definitely means music. But what happens when we take these two words apart? Both 音 and 乐 work separately as they are monosyllabic words. So, they have their own meanings but can be joined with other monosyllabic words as well. Monosyllabic words, or morphemes, are the smallest meaningful constituent of a linguistic expression. On its own, the word 音 refers to the tone of a sound. There are many other ways we can match 音 with other Chinese words. For example, I'm sure many people have heard of the word 录音, which means to record, or the most common one, 拼音, which is what many of us use to learn Chinese. Now, let's move on to 乐. Yes, the word 乐 is a 多音字, so it has two pronunciations, 乐 and 乐. For this video, we will focus on the pronunciation of 乐, which means sound. Putting these two words together, we get a disyllabic word, where we have two syllables, 音 and 乐, that come together to form a word with its own unique meaning. So, if we were to directly translate 音 乐 into English, we get tone and sound, which is music. But what's so special about Chinese music, and how is it so different from English music? Well, when we speak Chinese, there are four main tones that we use. A, 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 A. In order to convey the right meanings, it is important to use the correct tones in our speech patterns. So the same goes for singing in Chinese as well. When singing in Chinese, the melody in Chinese music follows the tones, making it possible for Chinese words to be understood correctly when sung. While this is not as obvious in modern Chinese pop music, it was definitely noticeable in ancient Chinese music, especially when songs were sung in dialects. One example is Li Bai's poem, 月下独酌. This poem was meant to be sung in Cantonese, and if you scan the code to watch the video here, you can hear the different tonations within the Cantonese phonology. Notice also the use of Chinese words. Imagine if you were to ask Lin Junjie to sing this poem in modern-day Chinese, I'm sure it will sound very different. Now that we've learned a little bit about what makes Chinese music, let's look at it in the context of Singapore. Here in Singapore, there is a special genre of Chinese music called 新谣, which is short for 新加坡歌谣. 新谣 is incredibly prominent in Singapore as it creates a space for artists to compose music about their dreams and ambitions within the context of this sunny little island. Because of this, 新谣 is incredibly important not only to artists but to the government as well. Music that has been categorized as 新谣 are sung in Mandarin, or what would be better contextualized as 华文 or 华语. It is the official language of China and Chinese people, and it takes precedence over other dialects within the Chinese-speaking circle. I'm sure many of us have heard of the Speak Mandarin campaign that happened back in 1979. This campaign sought to instill Singaporeans with a good grasp of 华语 and discourage the use of dialects in formal spaces, such as in schools or doing business. 新谣's role here was to promote the use of proper Chinese among the youth in Singapore, which prompted the government to see its significance. Well, it was definitely successful in doing so, as a recent study showed that the use of Chinese dialects had fallen from 76.2% in 1980 to 19.3% in 2010. That is actually a very significant decrease and shows how popular the Mandarin campaign was. Unfortunately, we have come to the end of this lesson, but I hope this has been fruitful in teaching everyone some new facts about the Chinese language. Thank you for listening and see you again soon.